morning, everybody. I'm Melinda Romero, account executive here at Grace Company.
And I'm Jenna Hall. I am the social media and community coordinator.
And today we're presenting our winter market, which we're so excited for.
Right?
You know, I love this time of year. It's my absolute favorite.
Right.
You know, temperatures are cooling down, but I will say, you know, the mornings here in Utah have been freezing.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
But the afternoons, phenomenal. I love this time of year.
Right.
But I love this time of year additionally because it's, you know, kind of the season of giving and, you know, family and all those great traditions that we've grown up with. I want to know, what are some of your favorite traditions? So let's go ahead and put some of those in the comments. Jenna, what are some of your favorite traditions?
So my favorite traditions this time of year is, so I've been quilting for a lot longer than people think. And I spend this time of year making all of my gifts. Awesome. So I am in the middle of so many quilts. This weekend I got 3 duffel bags made for my family members, doing little project bags or little makeup bags. Travel bags are so easy this time of year, and that's my favorite. But when it comes to just holiday traditions, my advent calendar is my favorite, and this year I bought 2 quilting ones. One that has little like handmade tags in it, and so yesterday was one. What was it? I forgot to open it today, but it was like from your favorite sewist. And then I also got a thread advent calendar, and so I'm opening those, and it's so fun.
Those are awesome. Where did you find those?
Through people online. They showed me their favorites, and they're the ones I bought. My tag advent calendar is Kylie and the Machine, and they just have super funky, fun tags, and they're my favorite ways to personalize quilts. I just love it.
Awesome.
What are some of your traditions that you love?
You know, after the whole day of Thanksgiving, the cooking, the family, the cleaning up, thankfully my husband doesn't, he's, you know, not into sports, so I don't have, you know, football blaring all day in our house. But I think my favorite tradition is every Thanksgiving night, we kind of start off our holiday movies, and we always start with Home Alone.
Oh, that's so fun.
I love it. It's my favorite.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. So I saw some other great family traditions. I saw baking cookies. I saw watching the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Making gifts.
You know, so many awesome, you know, traditions.
Right.
And everything. I love this time of year. So, Jenna, what are you most excited about for this upcoming holiday season?
Ooh, this upcoming holiday season, I'm so excited to go and visit my sister and her husband and my nieces and nephew. I have not seen them in a hot minute, and I'm spending 8 days in Texas with them.
Awesome.
And I'm so excited.
Dallas area, right?
Yes, Dallas.
Awesome, awesome. Love Dallas.
What are you doing for Christmas?
You know, my sister, all of my family lives here in the Salt Lake area. We always get together. We make a big Mexican feast, enchiladas, tamales, beans, tortillas, you know, the whole shebang. So that's always a fun time. And then of course, you know, that's before Christmas. Then we have, you know, our traditional Christmas dinner and gifts and everything. So we stick around town, but I do have some time off after Christmas and through the end of the year that I'm so looking and excited for.
That'll be so fun.
Yes, love it.
Nice.
All right, well, Jenna.
Yes.
What is one thing everybody should be cautious about this time of year. Not just this time of year, but all the time.
All the time, scammers. I
Those
see it
pesky
all of the
scammers.
time. So I'm the one who is monitoring all of Grace's social media, and I do my best to try to block or delete comments from scammers. But scammers are going to try to tell you that you've been chosen as a winner, when in reality, if you are chosen, we will email you directly. So please watch those. And they'll try to tell you before the event has even happened that you won. We won't even release who the winner is until the end of Winter Market. So don't
Yes.
listen to them.
Yes, so scammers, not just on our website, but telephone calls, sometimes even postcards in the mail, emails, instant messages.
I've had people are getting smart nowadays with scams. They've almost gotten me, and it's just
It's
like with the
scary
way
out
they're
there.
rewording things, or their email looks exactly like the real email except for like one dot in it
Yes,
or something,
yes.
you know?
So again, just just to be cautious, always look at where whatever notification is coming from. Look at the phone number, look at the email address. We will never ask for your personal information, credit card numbers, or
Nope.
anything like that. So please, not just with Grace Company correspondences, but with everything, just be very, very, very careful out there. So, all right,
Okay.
now we have an awesome show today that I'm super, super, super excited about.
Yes, today we are getting into all of our Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales. It is the last day for all of these. And so it is your time that if you've been thinking about getting a machine or automation, it's your time to jump on these deals. It's the
Yes.
best we have all year.
Yes, it's phenomenal. We often on the sales team talk about when's the best time to buy things. And I'm always going to tell customers, you want to buy now. Make sure you have it. We have it in stock. You can get it home, unboxed, set up, and start practicing and be on your way with quilting. That's any time of the year. But this time of the year are absolute, hands down, the best, most phenomenal sales.
They really are.
They are.
They are.
So we're getting into everything on our website, most everything. I'm going to say
Yeah,
most
everything.
everything. Site-wide, 10% off. TrueCut.
Right now, TrueCut is 25% off. And so if you've ever wanted one of our combos, I feel like that's the best deal to get on the combos.
Yes. And my absolute favorite gift that I've gotten for people over the last few years is the Quilters Combo.
I have one right here.
I love it, because I tell people this is kind of your starting point
It really
in
is.
getting to know TrueCut. You get the cutter, you get the ruler, you get the True Grips, you get everything that you need to start using our awesome TrueCut line. I love the TrueCut
Right?
line because it gives me safe, easy, accurate cuts every time. It's a true track and guide system. I'm only going to make those straight cuts. I'm not going to veer inwards. I'm not going to veer outwards. I'll save my fingers. I'll save from nicking my rulers. That combo, it's the perfect gift for your sewers, your quilters, friends, family, anybody that enjoys this type of hobby. It's the perfect starter kit to get them going.
It
I love
really
it.
is. I do too.
And we said what, 25%
25% off
TrueCut.
right now.
That's phenomenal.
Right?
And one of the things I love best about TrueCut is it's a buildable line. You don't have to go out right now, right away, and buy all the cutters, all the rulers, the cutting mat, the non-slip pad. You don't have to buy it all at once. Build on it. Maybe start with that combo, get the basics, then venture into the other rulers. We have square rulers, rectangle rulers, triangle rulers. We have sharpeners. I think Jenna's favorite is probably the circle cutter.
Oh, I absolutely love the circle cutter. So this is what it looks like. And if you do a lot of applique, I love it for applique. you have your measurements right here that represent your diameter.
And how
of your
big of a circle can we do?
You can do from a 2-inch circle to a 12.5-inch circle. So it is huge.
So the days of using your shears, a bowl or a pan to trace your circle, and then whatever shears to cut it out, those days are over. And I'm not going to miss it because I could never cut a perfect circle if my life depended on it. But with the circle cutter, I can, and you can too.
Right? I absolutely love it. Let's watch a quick video that shows just how to use it.
I love this, and I always use my less dominant hand holding that center. What would you call it? It's not like a plunger, but it's
like the
a
center
holder.
pin.
Yeah, so use my less dominant hand on that pin and go over hand and bring that circle
all the way
around in one solid fluid motion.
And what I like to tell people is people try to press in the middle, but the blade is on a hinge system, and so if you press towards the edge, then you get the right pressure all the way around.
Yes. I love it. It's one of those things, it just makes life easier.
Right? And you can cut through several layers of fabric at once. It easily cuts through. I usually put interfacing on the back when I do applique, and so it cuts through that easily. I absolutely love it.
Yes. Great gift. So, sharpeners. We have an electric sharpener. We have a linear sharpener. I'll say my linear sharpener lives on my cutting table at home.
Same.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm silly, and when I get in the cutting moods, I like to cut out a couple projects at once and then sew on them throughout the month. And after every cutting project, I'll go and I'll do 10 times one way, 10 times the other way, and it just extends the life of my blade, and I'm buying a lot less blades throughout the year.
Yes. And I don't know about you, Jenna, but let's ask everybody tuning in. How many of you have those little, whether it's a metal container, a glass container, whatever it is, set aside at home with all of your dull used blades? How many of you have 1, 2, however many of
probably
those
have
containers? 10. I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that. With the electric sharpener, that's the sharpener that I use to sharpen and renew life into all of those old blades that I can't bear to throw away.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, well, what do I do with it? It's potentially still sharp, could be considered dangerous. I don't just want to throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
So we resort to keeping all these blades in all these containers. So the electric sharpener is perfect for those blades because they're already off the rotary cutter.
Yep.
All you have to do is pop it into that clamshell, close it, press the button, about 15-20 seconds, flip the blade over, close that clamshell, press the power button, run it again for about 10 to 15 seconds, and you've renewed that blade.
And the electric sharpener will sharpen your 28 millimeter, 45, and 60 millimeter blades, so it's got all of them.
Yes. So definitely the TrueCut line at 25% off. It's a phenomenal time once you get, whether it's the quilters combos, if you want to add a few more of the different size rulers, the sharpeners, that awesome circle cutter.
Right.
It's a great time.
It really is. And I just want to highlight this guy for a second, because let's say you have rulers at home that you like. This guy is compatible with our rulers, but then it's also compatible with all the rulers you have at home.
Yes.
I have arthritis, and it's in my wrists and in my fingers, and cutting with a normal rotary cutter, my wrists hurt after like one project. And ever since I've switched to this guy, it is my favorite. It keeps your wrist straight and my wrist stops hurting. So even if you have a ruler you like at home, this guy is the best deal to get right now, and it just saves pain.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And you know, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. It puts the whole cutter, it's centered right underneath your palm. You're not going to lose control. When it glides down the raised edge on the ruler with the attached guide, it just makes it so easy, so comfortable to use.
Right?
I love it.
And a lot of people end up holding it the wrong way. And so when you get it, watch our videos, because if you hold it the wrong way, it's not going to do what it's supposed to.
Right, right. Okay, and then, you know, continuing on with our
Right.
sales.
Let's talk
Who
accessories.
doesn't- okay. Accessories.
Were
So-
you wanting to do something else?
Well, so accessories falls in that 10%
Yes.
off site-wide. So things like your different feet sets, rear handles, lasers, needles,
Yeah.
bobbins, thread. Somebody once told me, Jenna, tell me if you've ever heard this.
Yeah.
The most important thing for your machine is the needle.
Oh, 100%.
The least expensive thing for your machine is the needle.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you know, I was like, when I heard it, mind blown, because it's like, oh yeah, that does make sense. You know, so I am the first to admit I probably don't change my needles often enough, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Oh,
you
no,
know,
you're
so
not.
10% off. Take advantage of that. Site-wide, needles, bobbins, thread, rear handles, ruler bases,
Yeah.
the different feet sets for the Kunika machines. It's a great time to buy.
It really is. And my favorite thing is, like, if you haven't gotten into ruler work yet, getting the package that has this guy, which is our ruler foot that attaches onto your machine, and then also our ruler feet, the perfect ruler foot.
Quilt perfect.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Ruler feet kit. And so that you can do ruler work at home so much easier.
Yes, I love it. All right, and then, you know, kind of our biggest sale. Who doesn't love a little bit of automation?
Oh my goodness. I just got it on my machine 2 weeks ago and I can't stop. It's so much fun.
It is. It is. So we have the 3 different tiers to choose from. QCT6, which is just your edge-to-edge quilting, QCT6 Plus, and QCT6 Pro. They're buildable. So with QCT6 edge-to-edge, the software is telling you step by step how to do things, how to place, you know, where to mark on your quilt. It takes into consideration what machine you're using, what frame you're using. It almost makes it foolproof, but it's teaching you, you know, those valuable lessons. So when the time is right and you're ready, you can continue along that path and upgrade. 6 Plus includes everything QCT6 Edge to Edge has, but it gives you a little bit more feature-wise, so a little bit more customization options.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can design 2 rows of your quilt at a time. QCT6 Pro. Now, that is my jam.
That's my favorite, too.
I can design the entire quilt from top to bottom, edge to edge. I have valuable tools, so I have QuiltCAD, PatternCAD, record feature. So I don't know about you. And audience, I know you may or may not have seen Jenna free motion quilt. She's phenomenal. So I am going to bring her my tablet and say, hey, Jenna, will you free motion, you know, some of these patterns and record it? That way I can use it as a pattern for later. And maybe one day I'll get good enough where I'll want to use my own recordings. But whether it's bubbles, whether it's feathers, whether it's meandering, whatever it may be, you know, with that QCT6 Pro, you can record those patterns. or the motion to save us patterns for later. I love it.
I also love the option with QCT 6 Pro is that you can design pantographs like without the record feature. You can just draw it out on Pattern CAD, and I haven't dabbled a whole lot in it yet, but I want to start just because being able to design, like fully design every part of your quilt is such a fun option.
Yes, yes. And it doesn't matter which tier you start at, you have the ability. You can upgrade from 6 Plus to Pro. You can upgrade from QCT 6 Edge to Edge
Right.
to 6 Plus or even Pro. There's nothing holding you back. Just get out there and do it. It's super easy. It's super fun. And I will say that there's Quilting with Grace. There's the Quilters Creative Touch Facebook groups.
Yep.
So many wonderful people, so many helpful resources, bounce ideas, and I think overall, in other groups that I've been a part of, the quilting community, top notch.
Everyone just helps
fabulous.
everyone out.
Yes,
It's the best.
There's no cattiness. There's sometimes I'll see, you did that wrong, but not in a mean way.
Right.
It's people helping people along with their quilting journey.
The other day, just because I'm new to QCT, I just had a question about the software, and it was on a Saturday where I couldn't message anyone from work, and I put it online. I was like, I just need some help. And I had like 10 people messaging me, and all of their ideas worked and were so helpful. So I just love my friends online. My quilting friends are the best.
Yes, yes. And I think Grace Company, we have the best.
We really do.
The best support, people, it's amazing. Love
It is
it.
fun. And what I love about automation too is it's a total different skill than free motion. Like free motioning is so much fun. I love it, but there are some designs that you just can't get free motion that you can get with automation that I think is just a fun skill set just to add on top of what I already have.
Yes.
And so I've been free motioning for the past 6-7 years now, 6 years, and now adding automation onto it is so fun.
Yes. It's quilting soothes the soul.
Oh my gosh.
It
It's
really
therapy
does.
for me.
Yep. I love it. As a newer quilter, and I think so many of you know, I've been with Grace Company for about 3.5 years. I was like completely green in the world of quilting. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to know. I didn't know anything. So
Yeah.
it's definitely been a journey, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Quilting's fun and it's so intimidating, but having like the online resources and videos and a community helps make it a lot less
Yes.
intimidating.
Yep. Now, I frequently talk about 3 C's. And I don't know if you've heard me talk about
I don't know your
C's.
3 C's.
Okay. So we're always going to be our own worst critic. Critic is not one of my 3 C's, but we're always going to be hard on ourselves,
Yeah.
saying, oh, it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. That was a disaster and it looks awful. We're always going to be the worst on ourselves.
Yep.
But I will say, the more you practice, the more comfortable you get. As you're getting more comfortable, you'll get more confident. And then as your confidence builds, so does your creativity. So keep at it.
Yeah.
Remember those 3 C's: comfortable, confident, creative. We can do this. We can do this.
I feel like I've been quilting for a hot minute and I still, every time I finish a quilt, my first thing is to point out all the flaws. I know it's silly, but I'll go up to my friend or my aunts and be like, hey, look, here's this flaw here and this flaw here.
And they're like, I would never have noticed.
I know, they're like, Jenna, stop it. But I think it's kind of fun. Also, like when you have flaws in a quilt, it makes it human, it makes it handmade. It
Yes.
gives that fun touch
Yes.
that you don't get from a Walmart quilt or an IKEA quilt.
No, nope, not at all. So phenomenal sales, 10% off most everything site-wide, 25% off TrueCut, 20% off automation. So that's all the tiers, all the upgrades. That includes Gold Card. Now, a lot of people will ask as they're getting into automation, does it come with a tablet? Do I need a tablet? What tablet, should I get? Do I need? The whole list of questions.
Yeah.
Now, the 20% off QCT, it doesn't apply to the tablet that we sell, but the 10%, it falls under that 10% site-wide. So if you are needing a tablet for your automation, or just your tablet in general needs to be upgraded, if you're looking at our tablets, our tablets have all the specs needed for automation for Quilter's Creative Touch to work properly. That tablet that falls under that 10%. So it takes all the guesswork out of, will this tablet work?
Yep.
But it's your choice, certainly. Just keep that in mind. And on our website, the discounts so far that we've talked about, 10% off, that is applied immediately on machines and frames. 25% off and the 20% off automation. You'll see a lot of those other discounts added automatically once you're in your cart. So keep that in mind as well.
And one thing I think, this is the best time of year to buy a machine. So if you do not have a long arm and that's something that you're looking into, because right now it's at a minimum of 10% off, but depending on the machine that you want, there is even a higher discount.
Yes.
So I know just the 19X, that is the highest discount right now on that machine. And with every machine that you purchase from us right now, not only do you get the machine, but you get a free frame.
What?
And I know, and there's a choice of 3 free frames that you can choose from. We've got the Cutie frame, the Q-Zone hoop, and the Q-Zone queen. And then you get an accessory bundle that is valued at over $1,300. That includes a lot of the TrueCut that we were talking about earlier.
That is amazing. So a machine, a free frame option, an awesome accessory package, 10% off.
Right.
Potentially, could feel like a little bit more.
Right.
Once you get everything in your cart and all the discounts applied. But that's phenomenal.
I know, and my favorite thing about the accessory package is it includes the light bar. I quilt in a basement, and I thought my basement was well lit until I got the light bar in there, and now I can't quilt without it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I always tell people, whether you're sewing, quilting, so many other hobbies can be included. When you're doing these things, there is no such thing as too much light.
Oh, no, not at all.
And a good, bright, white light that doesn't cast shadows, that doesn't kind of change and manipulate the colors right in front of your eyes.
Yep.
I think we've all used, been the fallen victim of poor lighting situations where it's the lighting is off. It can affect how well you're matching thread color with your fabric colors, and the list goes on. But these lights are awesome. They're LED lights, true bright white lights, long run time on the bulbs. The frames are height adjustable. They're available 5 foot, 10 foot, and then of course we have a 2 foot extension. So the 5 foot really, it can stretch out just a little bit to get you, how wide would you say? So it's over 5 feet.
Oh, I am not sure.
Yeah, so I would say in all, maybe about 5.5 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
The 10 foot light, if you can see in the picture on screen, it's set up with 4 bulbs. You can set it up with 3, you can set it up at 5, You can add the 2-foot extension and make it up to a 12-foot light. It's
And the
phenomenal.
10-foot one I know is about 10 and a half feet because I have a 10-foot Evolution frame at my house, and that fits over it perfectly.
Yes, with a little bit of wiggle room on the sides,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, let's go into some of our machines.
Yes.
Let's start with our Little Rebel.
You know, I love the Little Rebel. I just did another segment where it was on the Little Rebel. For the longest time, before the Little Rebel came out, I was on the hunt for the perfect straight stitch machine. I wanted something that was going to be durable, that could get through thick fabrics, leather, you know, really get through some of those tough projects that had the power to do so. I really wasn't interested in a ton of bells and whistles. I really just wanted that straight stitch, the power. And then we came out with the Little Rebel, and oh my gosh, a 13-inch throat, 8.5-inch harp height, the throat lights, it has an M-class bobbin. I don't know about you, Jenna, but the absolute worst thing that can happen when I'm sewing or quilting is when I run out of bobbin.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's the worst. You know, so having that M-class bobbin in the Little Rebel as a sewing machine, for me, it's life-changing. It helps me get through, you know, those sewing projects, whether I'm piecing or doing some other project with ease, with confidence, you know, and I don't have to worry, am I going to run out of bobbin? Am I going to run out of bobbin?
Right? What I really love about the Little Rebel is the throat size.
Yes.
And not only is it 13 inches, but it is high.
Yes.
And so if you are free motion, push quilting, anything, there's enough space in there to hold your quilt where you're not you're not trying to fit everything into this small space.
Now, I think some of you may know this. I am not a push quilter at all. The hardest thing I think I've done here at Grace Company since I've started, when we did training on the Little Rebel, we had to make a little pot holder. So we started with a 12 by 12 inch square. We had to push quilt it. That was hard.
On my
It was hard, and it was so small.
Right? I feel like straight quilting on like your domestic machine on the Little Rebel,
do that.
easy. Push quilting and like fun designs that is not straight, I struggle with. But with the Little Rebel, just with the switching from sewing to quilting mode, I feel like it makes it easier because it's got the stitch regulator on it, and a lot of domestic machines don't have that, and so I'm able just to push quilt it around and not have to worry about all my stitches being wonky.
Yes, so I absolutely fell in love with the Little Rebel when it came out. It had, you know, I was looking for something that checked all the marks, all the boxes. That machine was it.
Right.
And the fact that it comes with your sewing feet, it comes with a hopping foot, it comes with that 18 by 24 inch sewing table, M-class bobbin, built-in bobbin winder, but I can easily put the machine on a frame, on the Cutie Breeze, on the Q-Zone hoop, and frame quilts. Instead of push quilting, because I'm awful at that. But for me, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was the machine I had been looking for. It has the power. It can stitch up to 1,600 stitches per minute. If you're in the market for a machine, and again, you don't want something computerized. That's a little bit more, just a mechanical machine, a good straight stitch machine. That Little Rebel, it's for you. It's for you.
I love pairing the Little Rebel with the Cutie frame, especially if you don't have a lot of space at home. The Cutie is 4 foot, or around 4 foot.
It's a little over 4 feet wide.
Little over 4 foot wide, and you get enough quilting space with the Little Rebel with the 13-inch throat space that you can quilt, rezone, and so that you only need one machine to do both if you want to try frame quilting and get a little bit closer to long arming.
Yes. Now, I will be that person day in and day out, and I will say I would much rather hoop my fabric on my frame,
100%.
Shift it and move it. I would rather do that than trying to push a quilt through my machine.
Me
so much
too.
easier. So much easier. All right, so we've talked about the Little Rebel. Let's talk about the 16 series.
Okay, the 16 series, you've got a 16-inch throat length. And we have 3 machines. You have your 16X manual, and that one is just a manual machine. So you control the stitch length by how fast your needle moves up and down and how fast you move the machine around your frame. Then you have the Unique 16X, which has some more bells and whistles to it. It has 4 stitch modes. It has
Cruise, precise, manual, based. You can do any project with those stitch modes.
You really can. And I love them all for different things.
Yes.
I like to say, I love stitch regulation, but I think that starting off, if you're a new quilter, starting off learning in manual mode is the best way to start. So before I worked at Grace, I used other long arms that were only manual. And with that way, you learn how fast you need to move your machine. You learn exactly how it works, the way your needle works, and you're able to control your movements better. And then once you feel like you have a handle on using manual mode, using the stitch regulation, oh my goodness, it is a game changer.
Yes, yes. So the rounding out that series, we have the Unique 16X Elite. Now, I am at that ripe age where my eyes are changing. I'm noticing some other things, and I'm not quite ready for readers, but I think, sooner than later, it's probably going to be my reality. With all of the X Elite machines, those machines give you that larger 7-inch touch screen display. It gives you different tools. So you have a calculator, measuring tool, bobbin estimator, edge warning, and a project mode. But there's also an awesome user interface on the X Elite models, which really kind of puts the manual right at your fingertips. So there's a helpful instruction on setting tension, choosing your thread, threading your machine, maintaining your machine. It's phenomenal. I would say of these 3, I would lean towards that 16X Elite. But, everybody's going to have a different reason for choosing something. And I always tell people, whatever your budget is and however much space you have available in your home, pick the biggest that falls into those 2 buckets. So going out of the 16 series, we're going into the 19 series. We have the 19X and the 19X Elite.
I love the 19X Elite. That's the one I have at home right now.
Awesome.
And it is, if you follow us on social media and you see someone working in a basement, it's probably me with my 19X Elite. And I love how light it is. It has those same features of the 16X Elite, but with a bigger throat space, and it's super easy to maneuver around. It's really quiet, and I just love it.
Yes, and having that 3 additional inches of throat space really does make a difference as you're quilting your projects.
It really does.
Whether you're on a hoop frame or a rolling rail frame, that extra 3 inches, you'll always have the width side to side to move the machine along the frame. But it's the forwards, backwards, where the length of your throat is going to limit how much quilting you can actually do before you have to either rehoop your quilt or advance and roll the quilt on the take-up rail. So I also gravitate towards the 19 series, again specifically that 19X Elite because it has that bigger screen. I'm short, and I know so many of you have seen on previous videos. A lot of the equipment here at Grace Company, everything's set at a higher height. The 21X Elite, it's nearly as tall as I am, when it's on the frame, and it's daunting. It's intimidating. It's a more powerful machine. But if I'm gravitating towards any machine, it's going to be one of those 19s.
I say that if you have it in your budget and if you have the space, the bigger throat length, the better.
Yes.
Because the smaller you have, it limits what you can do.
Yes. And then, in a month or 2 months or 3 months, sometime down the road, you're going to say, I wish I had something bigger. So if you kind of went big, kind of right out the gate, you know it's fitting in your space, it's fitting in your current budget, and that's what you have up to that point. So again, the 19 series, love it.
I do too. But if you're looking for a little bit bigger throat space, then we have our 21X Elite.
Yes.
Which is our grand big machine.
Yes. Yeah, and I know I said I lean towards the 21X Elite, the 19X Elite, but when the conditions are right, when the frame is set at a height for me, I love the power, the throat space, everything about that 21X Elite. I can zip right through my quilting projects. Look how big that throat space is.
It's so nice.
Yes. Nice.
So nice.
And a great thing, new this year on our 21X Elite, we added those awesome throat lights. So you can't see the throat lights aren't on the machine in the video, but just imagine, having those LEDs in that throat space. The 21X Elite has it. You have all of those wonderful features, the throat length, the M-Class bobbin, the built-in bobbin winder. It's the greatest machine in our lineup, but I'm still going to lean towards that 19X Elite. So.
And I love with all the machines, when I'm using automation, I want the biggest throat space so that I don't have to roll up my frame as much. And so the 21X Elite, I love using here for automation a lot of the times.
And I hear it all the time. It must be so much fun working at Grace Company. It really is. It is.
I turned my hobby into my job. It's so much fun.
Yes. So having all of our machines and frames kind of at our disposal that we can use, it's great. But for going home, I know I don't have as much space as you do in your basement.
It's my parents' basement.
I have a small space, so I can do the Q-Zone hoop, and with the 19X Elite, I have a cutting table. My space is very minimal. Yeah. But even with that Q-Zone hoop, I'm still quilting, any size quilt, just the same as Jenna can quilt up to a king-size quilt on her 10-foot frame. I can do that too with a smaller frame. So definitely lots of options to consider. And kind of the best thing with our products is even if you start, at one point, there's trajectory, there's room to grow and evolve and kind of upgrade into something bigger, faster, better once you're ready and able to.
Right? When you buy a machine, we said you get a free frame, and there's the Cutie, Q-Zone Hoop, and Q-Zone Queen that you can choose from. But if you have it in your budget, just for a little bit extra, I would really recommend either the Q-Zone Cleaner hoop with the Pro upgrade, but what I really love is our Evolution frame. So we have the Evolution hoop frame, which is around a 5-foot hoop frame, right?
Yes, so the Evolution hoop, again, a little over 5 feet wide. It can be used as a rolling rail, but only if your quilt fits within those bars. So within, or fits along the take up in that front rail. If your quilt is bigger, then of course you want to use that frame as a hoop. Now, the best thing about that Evolution hoop frame, you can easily upgrade it if and when you have the space or budget available to do so. You can upgrade it to an Evolution Elite frame. So you can take that hoop frame, get the conversion kit, get the extension tables. You can make it 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot frame. It's phenomenal. It grows with you. So yes, as Jenna was saying, we have those wonderful free frame options, but for a little bit more, if you're able to, perfect upgrade options as well.
And we do have financing through Synchrony, so if you need a little bit of extra time to pay it off, we've got you.
Yes. Now, one thing is, so all of our awesome products, yes, they can be bought directly from Grace Company, but we have so many authorized dealers nationwide. All of these same deals, the same bundles, they're available with our authorized dealers as well. So if you want to go in and see something in person, try a machine in person, don't forget those authorized dealers. Same bundles.
Go to our
same
website,
pricing.
go to the dealer locator page, and then you're able to see everywhere across the world.
Look at all
where
those
our dealers
dealers.
are.
Wow. Yes. And without our dealers, they're kind of bridging that gap, helping Grace Company help more and more customers with their quilting journey. So I absolutely love it. Love it, love it.
Okay, let's go into some gift ideas for the new quilter in your life. We just came out with this guy recently.
Yes.
The mini quilter.
The new mini quilter. I love this, the mini quilter. Again, it's not taking up a ton of space. The Cutie Breeze frame, it's just over 4 feet wide. This, it's maybe 2.5, 3 feet wide.
Yep.
So it works with your domestic machine as long as your feed dogs drop or have a plate to cover them.
Yep.
And your maximum throat space that you can use on the mini quilter is up to 13 inches. So again, almost anybody has a sewing machine at home. Most sewing machines. I honestly cannot, and I don't know, I've thought about it periodically over the last few years. I don't know of any machine that you can't drop the feed dogs.
I don't know either. I'm thinking possibly the ones that are the cheapy ones from, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Joann's,
I don't know. But again, as long as your feed dogs drop and maximum throat space up to that 13 inches.
And you can use any throat space, but we recommend bigger than 8 inches. If you take whatever the throat space is on your machine and subtract 2 inches, that's around how much throat or quilting area you're gonna have.
Right. But I love the mini quilter. It's great for people that don't have a ton of space, that really are, the cutie is just too big, or if you had something, maybe in that $300 range, that's something I could do and would be achievable. And the mini quilter fits that bill. So using your domestic machine, the machine you already know how to use, you know everything about your machine. The mini quilter allows you in an easier way to use your machine on the frame. You can still quilt, so many sizes of different quilts. And at $299, it's a great opportunity. So again,
Right.
whether you're a new quilter, whether you have an extremely tight budget, whether you want to give the mini quilter as a gift for somebody who, I don't know, they may or may not be interested in quilting, but you don't want to spend a ton of money, to try to find out. The mini quilter fits so many of those bills.
Right? And a lot of people want to dabble in long arming, but they don't want to take the big jump because buying a long arm is a lot of money. It's expensive.
Yes.
You need a lot of space for it. But using the mini quilter, you can get to know long arming with your domestic machine, and it makes things a little bit easier. And then with rezoning and rehooping, you can do any sized quilt that you want to.
Yes. So again, phenomenal frame. We're still in a pre-order status now. We expect to begin shipping probably towards the end of this month, but get closer to the top of that shipping list now versus later. At $299, it's that great first step, or maybe you're downsizing and you're going into a space that doesn't have a lot of space. This could still be perfect for you.
Right? And even though it isn't shipping out for Christmas, if you get it as a holiday present, put a picture of it in a box, someone will get surprised. And then a month later, they'll actually get it and have double the surprise.
Yes. So I love the box idea. Putting a picture of the mini quilter
That's
in a
what
box.
my mom would do when her shipments wouldn't come in.
Add,
Christmas.
some supplies, some threads, some needles, some extra bobbins for their machine. Maybe some fun patterns. Make it fun. And chocolate, right?
Or gummy bears if you're me.
So many fun ideas. This has been amazing.
And then,
go
Are
ahead.
you sure?
Yeah.
I just was wanting to share one of my other favorite gift ideas, because let's say you like this, but you do have the space for something bigger and you're ready to jump into long arming more. This is are we able to switch camera? There we go. This is what I recommend to people the most. If you don't have a lot of space, this is our Cutie frame. And our Cutie frame works with your domestic machine at home. But if you're able to, getting the 16X or the 16X Elite.
Even the 16 manual.
Or the 16 manual, exactly. You're able to long arm just like you normally would. And let's say later on you have loved your Cutie, you've used it, but you want a rolling frame or just a larger frame. You don't have to buy a brand new machine. You just have to get the frame and then move this guy over to it. So it's a lot easier. And what I love is, let's say I want automation, but I don't have the space for something huge. With the 16 series and any of our machines, you're able to hook on automation with the Cutie frame. And so you're able just to sew whatever you want with it. I love it.
Yes. All right, so recapping a little bit of what we've talked about. 20% off QCT and Gold Card, all levels, all upgrades. It does exclude the tablet. 25% off TrueCut, 10% off site-wide. So again, your needles, your bobbins, your thread, your different feet sets, rear handles for Qnique machines. It's a perfect time to stock up. And whether it's for yourself, for a friend or a family member that has Qnique products, these are gifts you really can't go wrong with. I've seen so much, whether it's on TikTok or Facebook or any social media, and kind of the question that seems to be circulating, what's a good practical gift that you may or may not buy yourself, but you would recommend for somebody else? all of those stock up items. Again, you know, the needles, the bobbins, the thread, you know, those types of things, because as quilters, as sewers, we need those things.
Oh, 100%. I run out of thread all of the time. Also, you can never have enough colors of everything because every color of thread goes differently with every quilt, and you need the thread to match the quilt top, and so much.
All right, and kind of our farewell, we just want to send out the reminder one more time. Please, please, please be very careful of scammers, whether anything's coming from who you think might be Grace Company or any other company. Pay special attention, you know, to the phone numbers, email addresses, links. If you don't recognize the company, don't click on links. If you don't recognize the email, don't open the email. Be very diligent on your own. I think, you know, if everybody raised their hands, we all probably know somebody who unfortunately has been scammed. You know, so try not to let this happen to you, especially, you know, not just any time, but especially this time of year.
I just want to shout out our social media. Go follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. We are constantly putting out either educational quilting videos of how to use our products or how to make fun gift ideas. And I make them all, and so I think you should go on and support me.
You do amazing. I have seen your work, and it's like, one day I'm gonna be as good as Jenna. One day I'm gonna be as good as Jenna. So, but practice, right?
Follow us, and if you want to see anything, DM us. You're talking to me when you DM us, and give me an idea of a video to make or a project, and possibly that could be featured in a video.
Yes, I love it.
And before we close, I want to make sure that all y'all know that on December 13th, it is Winter Market, and it is our free online event. If you register now, you're entered to win several large giveaways of all of our products. And, well, it's not all at once, but like several of all of our products. Just gotta clarify. And you're learning about our products, some quilting education, and learning about several charities, and specifically quilting or sewing-based charities around the world.
Yes, I love it, love it.
And it's all wrapped up in a mystery, and it's fun.
If you haven't seen kind of the teaser trailers on social media, check them out. They're pretty fun.
Who stole the Grace Light quilts is the question we're answering.
Awesome. Love
I think it was
love
Bryant. He's the one behind the camera.
Yeah, our audience never gets to see Brian.
I know.
We're maybe one day we're gonna have to change that.
One day.
Yes.
I'm trying to get him to come on camera, but he just doesn't.
One day. All right. Well, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Happy Cyber Monday. Go out, look at our website, you know, add those items to your cart, add them to your wish list. Share your cart or your wish lists, you know, with your significant other and family members.
And today's the last day for these sales.
Yes. So one last time, 10% off site-wide, 25% off TrueCut, 20% off automation.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you next time.
Happy holidays. See you on December 13th online, either on Facebook, YouTube, on our website. Join us for Winter Market.